Welcome back to my page, MoneyMaking Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson, the number one educator in the asset recovery business. Today, we have a success story. I am here with Pat, and she's going to share with us about a nice claim that she just got. So, Pat, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So I see here that you just closed a very nice six-figure claim, and I'm interested to hear about it, and I'm sure the viewers are as well.
Yeah, it was a case from Montana that Montana is one of those states that you can follow the mortgage, through doing auction.com and that route. And I do a few that way. But this happened to be a tax sale.
Mhm.
And I get those tax leads from the county. So several county clerks in several of the counties, I reach out to them and I talk to them about once or twice a year just to see if there's any updates, and I get the leads and then I go from there.
Nice. Yeah. So Montana, that's, honestly a state that most people don't even think about. I'm sure that there probably was little to no competition. So can you walk us through that deal? How did you market the client? How did the communication go? And how were you able to get such a nice percentage on this?
Well, I do have VAs. They're both from the Philippines. When I interview them to get them as VAs, you want to have a VA that can speak pretty good English, that they know what idioms are. If somebody says something to them, that they can answer back immediately. So that's part of my interview process,
Okay.
to find out if they can
Yeah.
answer me back or if they have to convert it in their head to whatever language to get it back to English so they can answer people.
Yeah.
So both my guys are really good at speaking English, and I have them do all the legwork. And if they have somebody that's like a warm leads, what we call it, then
Mhm.
they send them over to me and I can close them.
Nice. So they handle that intro call for you.
Because there's so many numbers that are bad numbers, so they do all
Sure.
that initial stuff for me. Yep.
When we do our skip tracing, we don't know which number is correct. So that's, the model that you do is what I teach. If you have somebody that can make those calls for you inexpensively, it's going to help you out because in this business, there's so many wrong numbers. But that's awesome. So you got the initial call, and then did you just handle the warm and close?
I did. Yep.
Okay.
And I sent them out information. And just like any case, you have to massage them a little bit to make sure that you go to the next level. It's not usually like one and done.
Yeah.
I found that on any case that I've done. So.
Sure. Absolutely. Nice. So on this one, did you have to use an attorney or were you able to just file? Usually on tax claims, you can submit that to the courts yourself.
Well, you probably could, but I use an attorney. He's not that expensive, as you saw on my sheet. So I just feel better having him there. He's in Montana. I'm not in Montana. So, if he has to go to the courthouse or anything for anything, he's right there.
Nice. Awesome. And for those that are watching, go ahead and tell us how much the total surplus was.
Oh, geez. I don't have that paperwork in front of me. I think, well, I got 23,000 and change.
Mhm.
I think my share was at 20% of this deal, and it was 25,000 and change. But then the 2,000 or so was to my attorney.
Awesome. So, I mean, that is a great payout.
It is a super one, right?
That's a great one. How many hours do you think you put into this actual claim?
Oh gosh, 3 or 4 hours maybe.
3 or 4 hours made over 23,000. And how
I
long was
know.
the wait? How long was the waiting period?
March. It was in March, mid to late March was when we got it to the attorney, and everything was started from there.
Okay.
And I just got the money this week, so what is that, about 5 months or so?
4 to 5 months. I mean, that's worth the wait. It's an investment. You put in 3 to 4 hours, you wait 4 to 5 months, and you get paid very well. So that's awesome. And I know you've been doing this business for quite some time. So for those that are watching that are just now getting started, what's a piece of advice that you would give to them?
One piece of advice that I would give is find something that you can do that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, I'm a clinical specialist. I was a labor and delivery nurse, and I'm still registered as a nurse.
Okay.
So I had a lot of experience in case management. And so when I talk to my clients, it's not like just worrying about the money at the beginning, just find out what happened, that kind of thing. I talk to them. And if they tell me they had problems with whether it be utilities or whatever, I send them information. I research that area. I mean, I don't know anything about Montana, but I would research it and find out if they've got food banks there that they can use. issues, or if they've got, electric companies that will give them breaks, whatever it happens to be. I've sent as many as 13, 14 pages, snail mail, to people because they told me they were having cataract surgery and they couldn't read real well for an email. So I sent them long mail, just to try to have that extra little thing that you can do that nobody else is really doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Going the extra mile. That's what it sounds like. So
And,
what?
and it may not seem like much to most people, but to them it means a lot because it's not like about the money. I'm like trying to help them with what their situation is.
Yeah. And speaking of help, how did the client feel once they received that six-figure payout?
It's life changing. I don't care if it's $5,000, it's life changing.
For sure, yeah, especially helping them after a foreclosure. That's awesome. So what's next for you, Pat? I mean, you already have your systems in place. Your business is fully operational. You got your VAs. What's the next step for you?
Well, I'm in your 12-week course, and the reason I'm taking your 12-week course isn't that I can't do a lot of things, but I know that you teach people things. You're very transparent on teaching things that I didn't know from other courses.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that a lot. And I can dig deeper on those states that I've never done.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, Montana, that's like I said, sometimes there's states in America that I forget even exist. And Montana
Right?
is definitely one of them. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Pat, for sharing your insight and motivating us all. We love the success and we love to hear it. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. One other thing is our Arkansas list that happened this week. I got one signed last night. I sent her paperwork. That's why I'm in my car today. Is like I'm out. I just went to the post office to send her some FedEx papers.
Nice. Yeah, I just, prior to hopping on this, I just did an Arkansas one as well. And we have like literal 10 days to get that in. But going on the Arkansas State Commissioner site, when you click request a form, they send you everything you need. Did you get that email? It showed you, the W-9, the claim
I
form.
did.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
amazing. It's pretty simple. They're third party friendly, and all you have to do is just follow the instructions and get it submitted.
And that was a state I'd never done. So I'm really kind of taking what you teach us,
Mhm.
to heart to try to do these states that I've never done before. So,
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You got Montana, you got Arkansas, while everybody else is focusing on those high competition areas. And then before you know it, you can virtually work, like 30 to 40, maybe even 45 plus states, and you have a fully operational surplus funds business.
yeah, I closed about 8 or 10 in Montana last year, just so you have this isn't my first there.
Yeah,
I've
that's
been
the
working
stomping
Montana
ground.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And for those who are watching, don't try to come in and take Montana. Pat has it on lock.
Right, I got a plan there. And you
Perfect.
know what? If you have a good attorney too, that I've worked with them, and
Mhm.
we had one that went south, and he told me, he said, "Hey Pat, he says it's not worth it. The attorney is basically not a nice attorney that the
Mhm.
client had hired for an eviction,
Mhm.
and he took it and ran, and he stole our case really." But
Wow.
he told, my attorney says, "You know what? I know him, and he's not a good man, so he says it's not worth our hassle." So
Yeah.
we just let it go. It was just easier to do that way.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's awesome, Pat. Thank you so much for sharing that, and I wish many more deals coming your way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.